Everyone, today we're going to meet Randy. Say hi, Randy.
Hi.
And Randy has got one of the most creative, amazing rigs setups I've ever seen. So we'll do, first we'll do our standard, we'll do an interview and we get to know him and let him out here. And then we'll see his rig and setup, and I think you're just going to be wowed by it. It's really amazing. So Randy, I guess the big question everyone wants to know is, why are you out here in the middle of nowhere living in your van and cargo trailer?
I like most people. I decided that in the later part of my life I've gotten really tired of the 9 to 5 that I was doing, and being challenged financially with what money I did make over the years, I was concerned about where my retirement was going to lie. I didn't want to, in a short word, live or work until I'm dead, and anymore. It's a fact of a lot of us that we do not have enough financial security when in a normal retirement situation. So I started Googling and researched some things, and I came across minimalism. I came across what happens if you are completely without work and no money, and eventually came across van dwelling and camping of the whatnot. And I had never even considered it to be a viable life. Your blog actually was very instrumental for me. Even before your YouTube channel, I was following your blog, and then I started following everybody else's. So I wanted to see what everybody's take was on it, and I decided that everything made perfect sense to me, and I didn't see a reason why not to take a chance and try it out. So I had set up almost 4.5 years ago. I started planning for this, and I got rid of all my debt, and then I just slowly started piecing together what I felt would be a reasonable vehicle to start in. I've had numerous vehicles over the last 4 years trying things out. The first one I had went to one of your RTRs 4 years ago, and I had brought a box van.
I remember.
So I built a box van, and I'm very fascinated, and it's almost magical to me even now, even 4 years into it. I love solar. I really love the just impressed with how you can create energy with no moving parts, and just the idea of it. So I put 600 watts on the box van, and I had like 800 amps of storage. Had a lot of problems with the box van, and I ended up selling it in Mesa, Arizona, and I jumped into another vehicle. So I ended up getting a Dodge conversion van, and then I bought a little trailer. I bought my first trailer. I bought a cargo trailer to pull behind it. And then I went about my travels, and I had various likes and dislikes about the Dodge van and whatnot, and I would have stayed on the road and dealt with my problems, but I ended up having some family issues, and I had lost 2 family members in the last 3 years. So I had to go back and take care of my responsibilities of that, and I went back to work in the meantime just to be there and do it. So up until October of last year, I was working again and then clearing up all the family stuff that needed to be done in respect to that. But I always had the advent that I was coming right back out. So I did my short project, my short stint that I had to do, made my money, and I threw together what I have here today. So currently have a 2000 Chevy Express window van, extended van, and a 6x12 cargo trailer that I ended up buying to do my next build with, and then that's where I am today. And I've been out on the road finally full time, and plan to stay out here. I have no reason. I'm pretty much set up without any huge surprises. I can be out here indefinitely.
And so what was the final decision? You tried 2 other rigs. Why did you end up with a van and a cargo trailer?
I'm a nuts and bolts guy, so I'm very practical. I'm more towards the practical and utilitarian side than I am aesthetics necessarily in everything I do. So to me, I like to go with things that are modular. And so the van and trailer combo, at least for now, makes sense because I built both of them to where they both can work independently. I can park one and live in it if I had to. I can live in the van and do it. They're completely self-contained on the fly. And I like having a base camp. There are conveniences, so everything's a compromise with van dwelling and recreational camping, whatever. There's benefits and there's also hassles with having a trailer. So you have to decide what's more important. I have an additional challenge because of my dog. There's a lot of people that have dogs, so that's why I wanted the extra room. Is I wanted to be able to enjoy resting, settle down. The trailer gives me the advent. I had built a shower in it. I can stand up. I can be comfortable. The dog likes to hang out in the van. This is his dog house. He loves the van, so it gives us some separation. But I also know, and I have done this, we've camped for 2 months at a time in the van. So that's why I like the versatility of having both, and I would call it like modular. You can easily separate them, but you can tie them together just as easily.
So you were so much in love with solar. You started out with a huge
600 watts
amount of solar.
And it was. I had wired for AC and DC, and I had my vision of what I wanted to build my rig, and I loved the cargo. I mean, I wouldn't say that everything was a failure because you learn from one build to another. So the box van to me was not really a waste. I bought it for $1,000, and it had a new motor and tradie in it. But it was really aesthetically challenged. So I'd fixed all the work on it and made it look okay. And for me, it wasn't about the looks. It was more just to get on the road and try this out. Because I think for everybody who's considering this life, is like everybody says, you just got to take the plunge. You gotta reasonably plan financially for it, but you can't. If everybody's going to have fears with doing this and obstacles, but they're all easily handled if you just take the plunge and you do some research. I will never look back. I'm never gonna go back to a traditional house sticking bricks. I did buy some property to create an off-grid just place to park a couple months at a time, and I do like that option as well. May not be for everybody. I like to travel, but I don't like to bounce around every 2 or 3 days. I really don't like hitting the key a lot, as it were. I want to see new things, but I figure I have nothing but time anymore. So I've got plenty of time to go see stuff. So I don't need I can't do that with the dog anyways, because my dog's kind of funny because he doesn't like to travel. He's a complete nervous wreck while we travel, but the minute we park, he's fine. So I always try to extend my parking time as long as possible and just kind of take in everything. So I'm a slow moving van dweller.
So tell me about your solar system on your van and your trailer.
All right, so the van has 620 watts respectively, and I have 800 amps of storage on it. And it is my primary source of electricity. And it works out good to be the van as the primary for my source. I got a 40 amp MPPT Renogy controller driving it, and I cook electrically. I don't even cook with propane. I have the luxury of a microwave, I have an induction cooktop, I have a coffee pot, I got toaster, whatever I want. And I have never run out of electricity for my cooking needs. It's just been a great balance. Not everybody can afford the room to have 600 watts, and I understand that. It's just I bought the vehicle to meet my wants of the 600 watts. So that's why I bought an extended van. I wanted the roof accommodation for the solar. So I've been using at least the 600 watts for 4 years, from the box van to present. I've always used that as my starting point in my builds. The trailer has had a few changes over the last year, but currently it has 310 watts of solar on the trailer, and it's got a 3,000 watt both of them have 3,000 watt pure sine wave inverters, and I can enjoy the luxury of running my appliances or whatever as much in the trailer as I can the van. I just have to obviously be careful, since I don't have quite the amount of solar coming in on the trailer. I have to manage my electrical needs in that respect. I'm able to tie the van system to the trailer, which is unique in my opinion, to where now I can include the bank of my trailer or my van's battery bank to that. So now I can actually expand the use of the trailer if I want. So now I can have up to 900 amps of battery at my disposal, but I don't have to carry the weight of it in the trailer. So that was something that I found was very well worth the time to do the extra work to accomplish that.
But you started out with a huge amount of solar.
I did.
More than that.
I did. So when I came out to the RTR just this last winter, and I came out
2016.
Yep, it's 20. Yeah, it's funny how that works, but yeah, so 2016.
2017. No, it was 2017.
Yeah, it was 2017, but it's the winter of 2016, so it's weird how that.
Right.
So I came out with this build of the van and the trailer. I came out with 900 watts on the trailer, and then the 600. So I had 1,500 watts, and I didn't do it because I really felt I needed it. I did it because I wanted to see what I could do with it, and just, you know, like I said, I love solar. Yeah, I always had plenty of juice. I could do whatever I want. I could run any kind of power tools off of anything. I actually helped, and I can jump start vehicles off my trailer or anything. I mean, it was just crazy. But I wanted to see if it could be pulled off on a footprint of a 6x12 trailer, because it's a relatively small trailer, but the way I had it laid out, it worked out nice. I decided that I wanted to lighten up the trailer, because the trailer was running at 3,500 pounds over the scales, and between 8,200 pounds that I'm carrying currently with the van, to me, I was starting to get concerned about how much weight I was pulling, and it was going to take a toll on the van. I didn't want to destroy the van because I really enjoyed the van. So I decided to separate 600 watts off of the trailer and take 700 amps of battery storage off. So now I only have 150 amps of battery storage and 310 watts. Because I did the math and looked at everything, and that's all I truly need to run the trailer.
300 watts is plenty.
And so I resold or traded off the to me it wasn't a waste of money for all the extra stuff I did, because I got my money back. So I traded all the solar and related batteries to a contractor who's doing excavation work on this property I just bought. I still have a lot, and by no means, not everybody needs this much solar, okay? It's just I like the comfort needs of being able to do everything electrically. And so, you know, I have the space, I had the money to do it, and I did all the work myself, which is a big savings, because that's a big challenge with a lot of people building vehicles, is the expense of, if they don't have the skills to put it on themselves, then you got to pay somebody. I've added water, so I actually have got 42-gallon water tank in the trailer, and I have a 42-gallon water tank in the van. And I wanted that because I knew one of the challenges of being out on the road is you're constantly chasing water. So I've actually incorporated an RV fill spout on both the trailer and the van, and so when I park the trailer, I can actually go chase my water needs with the van. So I just go fill up, and then I come back to camp. And I can stay in camp for up to 2 weeks without having to go to town. And then another added luxury is I actually brought a washing machine with me. A lot of people laugh at me and they wonder why I would do that, but that was one of the reasons why, when my planning, is I added all the extra water, because everybody always asks me, well, why do you have so much water? Here's the reason why. I want to wash my own clothes.
Well, that sounds great. So why don't we take a look at your van build?
All right, great.
All right, folks, let's end this video, and then be sure and check out the next video on Randy's van build. So we'll talk to you next time.